Hello students, welcome to another video on short stories, and in this video we are going to focus on character sketches. Now the first question that arises is literature related to our real life? Yes, of course. All the characters, all the scenes, all the plots, they are picked up from real life, though some things are added to them. Then, what are the elements of a story? Whenever we read a story, there are so many elements like setting, character, plot, conflict, and then the theme. All of them are important, but I personally believe character is the most important element of any story. If we talk about characters, character is the main person whom we remember, whom we talk about, and it keeps in our mind. Let's study different characters. Now, the characters in every story, the author creates different characters, variety of characters. Why? To move the story forward. Then some of the characters play major roles, big roles, and some of them play small roles. But it doesn't mean their role is not important. They have a role to play. That is why they are placed there. Now we have different types of characters. We have divided them into three categories. First is protagonist and antagonist. And the next one is static character or dynamic character. And next one is flat character or round character. Now let's study all these types of characters one by one. First is protagonist versus antagonist. Protagonist is the main character in the story. The story is told keeping them in focus. Main lead role. And then antagonist. Who is the antagonist? Who antagonizes or annoys the main character is called antagonist. They can be as important as the protagonist, but they are not the lead characters. Let's look at an example. In the story Sagacious Marcella, Marcella is protagonist. She is witty. She keeps taking up the challenges thrown by the king, and the king is the antagonist because he keeps testing her again and again. Now the next is static character and dynamic character. Static, as the name says, the character who is static, who doesn't move, character who does not change throughout the story, and he does not show any change in his traits or actions. So they are known as static characters. Next is dynamic characters. Dynamic means who are very strong, who are very moving. So they are characters who show significant change and development from the beginning till the end of the story. Come, let's look at an example. The story, The Portrait of a Lady. The grandmother, she remains the same religious woman, very quiet, very peace-loving, and she doesn't change in the entire story. She remains same. But the grandson, from childhood, he grows to an adult man. He gets education at various levels. He goes to the village school, then the city school, then he goes to foreign country for higher education. So he keeps progressing through this story. So he is a dynamic character. Now the next is flat character versus round character. the name indicates, flat character means who do not have any personality. They lack personality and depth. They are flat characters. And round characters are the ones who have deep and nuanced personality. आगे से कुछ, पीछे से कुछ, सोचते कुछ हैं, करते कुछ हैं. So they are round characters. They usually are the protagonists in the story. Let's look at an example. The story The Other Man. The narrator is a round character. He begins with only being a writer, but slowly he sees an image of himself in the mirror and he gets overwhelmed by the mania that there is another man in the mirror and he's taken over by him, and the story progresses with his fight with himself. Next is flat character. A friend of his visits him in between. He has no role to play. He just comes and goes. So he is a flat character who doesn't have any depth in his character. I hope these are clear. And now that you know all the different types of characters, we'll go up to the character sketch. What is a character sketch? It is a detailed study of one particular character from a story or a novel. So, here the reader gets deep understanding of that particular character. Now that you know about different types of characters, let us study how to build the character sketch of a particular character in a story. There are different steps to be followed, and the first step would be introduction. We have to introduce the character, and then the traits of the character, both internal traits as well as the external traits. And then significance of the character. What is the role that the character is playing? How important that character is for the story. And then comes the opinion of the character. What do we feel about that character? Now, let's see one example of character sketch of a grandmother from the portrait of a lady. In the story, The Portrait of a Lady, the narrator paints a vivid picture of the grandmother. He describes her as being short, tubby, and a bit bent. She had silver hair and wore a white sari. She was a woman of ritual and religion, often expressing her silent disapproval towards her grandson's secular education. Although she did not approve of his ways, her love for her grandson remained constant till the very end of the text, thus proving that she was a static but well-nuanced character. In my opinion, her character resonates with me because it reminds me of my own grandmother, a lady who is soft-spoken and deeply religious. I hope all the types of characters are clear by now, and now you'll be able to write a very good character sketch. Now I have a task for you. You have to write an original story in about 150 to 200 words, and the theme would be a stolen object. And your story must include one protagonist, one antagonist, and all the main elements of a plot. And then there must be a character change by the end of the story. I hope it is clear. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.